So hi everyone. So today our requirement is like we need to uh, authorize our backend API using Azure AD directory. Uh, for I mean we need to call our backend API from front end. I mean client, so that it should be authorized. We are using JWT tokens for authorizing purpose. So to do so, like first we need to go to Azure AD directory in Azure portal. There we need to register two apps. One is Zones Web API. I just named it as Zones Web API. This is my server code backend API, and register another app, which is React UI. This is my client API. I mean client code. So whenever you register, you will be able to see one client ID, tenant ID, all those things. So first one, what you need to do is uh, you need to go to authorize. So this postman callback URL, this is used to generate JWT token from postman. So we need to add this, and also this is not required. If you go to secrets, just add a secret, create one new secret. The secret value is used to generate as I told, generate a token from postman. I'll show you how we will generate. And also token configuration is now API permissions. See, API permission, by default it should be it will be Microsoft Graph, user read write. By default it will be. I'm showing these all in my server code, I mean web API code. So we need to expose an API here. See, when expose our API in the sense, like, if you see this, we are going to expose this API to React UI. I mean to client. So that is the reason why we are. So wherever we use this scope ID, our API will be available in the client. And also just client ID. This client ID is nothing but our React client ID. Just add it, React client ID. I mean front end app, and that's it. So if you go to React UI, even same thing, you just do it. uh, nothing much, like authentication. Just this is used to generate a token. And secret actually it's not required here, because we are just generating token for our server code, not the React. If you go to API permissions, see, API permission is like, we need to expose our backend API to the client API. So just if you go and add a permission, it will ask you to just go and add my API. So it will show you the APIs. I mean this is my server code API, web API. So just add it and just delegated permissions or whatever it may be, just add that, so that our backend app will be registered here. I mean, so that we can use our server code app here and expose an API. These things are not required. So how we are going to do is just create a simple web API using what? .NET Core. This is the latest .NET Core 6. In .NET 2022, the new, see, everything, there won't be startup .cs or program.cs. Program.cs and startup.cs both are combined together. I named it as program.cs. I just named it as 11. So it is program.cs. So startup is removed from that and added it. See, everything startup is removed. This is just a code. Here are the services. We are going to register our services on the top, and this is a middleware. We are going to add a middleware and everything. So but I'm using the earlier version. So if you go to startup.cs, only thing you need to do is like configure the Azure AD part. See, how to generate Azure AD, add JWT barrier. I mean, whenever we are passing JWT token, this Azure AD, this code part will be authorizing it. This code will be authorizing it. So just add this code in your from here in your simple web API. And also what I'm doing is like I'm allowing the cross origin policies. Cross origin policies is nothing but I mean my uh, React app, it will be running on the port localhost 3000. So that should be allowed here. So that is the reason why I just added a policy, and in the middleware I just added as app use cause the policy name. So only these changes you do it. change 1, change 2, change 3. Change 3 is up to here. No, you go up to here, change 3. That's it. Only 3 changes you do it. And whenever we run this application, okay, okay, when how to create a backend. Backend is simply you'll get it from zones web api. Go to zones web api, not zones web api. Actually we need to create a react app, right? Go to react api. In quick start, just select single page application, select, and just select react. We are developing react app, right? So just click whatever here are there, just download the code. Whenever you download a code, this is a simple code which we got. No changes, nothing which I did. Only change that I did is, this is our client id of react ui. So to access our backend server code, we need to do only one change. We need to add a scope here. You know, you see here. By default, the scope will be read, right? But what you have to do is, whenever if you go to web API and see in expose API, we added a scope. The scope, you need to just copy it and add it here. Whenever we add this, our React UI, I mean our React app is able to call the backend service API using this client ID. Got it? Only these two change. Just npm start. Before that, type npm I so that it will download all the dependencies. Npm start. So when you start this application, and before that, before it's starting, I will show you how to generate a bearer token. Okay. So bearer token, go to authorize and take it as auth2. When you give it as auth2, see, just select available. This is not web API token. Here you need to generate it. See, callback URL is we configured that in our here, right? If you see, where is that callback URL? API permissions, authorization. See, callback URL, just so that if you don't add this, our postman will not generate auth token. Just callback URL, add it, and authorization URL. This is authorization URL, and this is token. Where you will get is, if you go to overview and click on endpoints. See, this is authorization, this is token URL. Just give those two, and client ID. Client ID is, if you go to overview, this is our client ID. Just copy it, remove, just paste the client ID and secret. I told you, right? Just create one secret. Secret value cxj. So I need to create. I will create a new secret. See, actually, it will be disabled whenever we create a new secret. This is a secret ID. Just copy it, and next time you won't be visible. It won't be visible. You will get all stars. And if you go to scope, as I told you, just add the scope expose API, copy it. You add the scope in both client ID as well as here. I mean client React application ID. And just click on clear cookies and get new access token. If all things was correct, sonatasoftware.com. I'm working for Sonata. If you want my password, definitely I don't let you know. See, when the credentials are correct, it will authentication completed. When you click on proceed, it will generate a new bearer token. When you click on new, use this token, and just, this is my, what I call, this is my controller. Where is my accounts controller? So this is my accounts controller API accounts. And you must use authorize attribute here. Don't forget to use authorize attribute. And also in startup.cs, in middleware, you just add authorize. See, authentication, authorization. Okay, got it. Next, what you do is, see, allow origin. Actually, it should be before redirection or authentication. Okay, when you click on send, So if everything works fine, you will receive the data. So it's sitting. Actually, I put some breakpoint. I'll click on continue. Okay, see, you're getting data. So why you're getting data is your JWT token is valid. See, the .NET Core is authorizing if your JWT token here, the JWT token, this is using uh, the JWT token, it you generated it using Azure ready. So Azure ready, it will authorize it. So from Postman, you get the data. Then what about backend? Just go to backend service UI. As I told, just make two changes. One is this scopes, and one is just a client ID. No, not required. Client ID, it will be automatically generated. You just download this code from where? As I told you, go to React UI. From React, just go to quick start and download the code sample. That's it. When see, this is my, so when you click on sign in, sign up, it will ask you for prompt. Sign in, sign in, bro. Okay, I'll go with the incognito tab. Sign in. So sometimes because of catchy, sorry, ekndh dot ganla com. Don't worry, just simple. Whenever you authorize it, you know, whenever you signed in, what happened? Something is happening. Okay, whatever it may be, whenever you sign in and click on get information. And also one change you need to do is graph. In the graph.js, just remove the existing URL and keep your backend service URL. Okay, when you keep your backend service URL, just sign in, and whenever you sign in, it will generate a JWT token that you will get it to see in debug console. Whenever you debug, you just run and start debug. Say run and start debug. If you start debugging, I don't know what's happening. Maybe I need to clear the cookies and everything. So that's the reason why it's not signing me. So whenever you click on play get the information, if you go and check in the debug console, you will get all this data. Okay, you'll get all this data. I'm not able to signing in this. What happening? A local host. See, every day I used to sign in. Today what happened? Because of only two changes you need to do in that React UI. sonatasoftware.com, and my password is please subscribe. It's not signing in. Whatever it may be, whenever you sign in, if you go to debug console, you're able to see the three data which we got from this. So without signing in, you don't get. If you sign in, so that you'll get the JWT token. Using that JWT token, if you see here, if you change a JWT token, if you send it once again, it will hit my controller. I just put some breakpoint and you are getting data. Okay, when you just change one line, one letter. See, when you set send, see, one for one answer, so JWT token is not generated. So what happens is, in the React UI, JWT token will be automatically generated. See here, access token, when you sign in, JWT token will be generated, and that will be appended to the headers of your actual backend your API, so that you will get data. So what we have done, what we have achieved is like As I told, our backend API is now secured. No one can access. Only by using JWT token it can be accessed. So how can you generate JWT token? Just use Postman to generate JWT token, or in the React app, or just directly sign in, so that JWT token will be generated in backend. Now you are good to go. That's it. Thank you. Thanks.